Hi, I'm Kat, and this tutorial is how to make these fun, colorful tassel earrings using craft thread and beads. For this, you'll need your craft thread. I'm using craft thread instead of embroidery floss because it's a bit sturdier. You'll also need scissors, pliers, earring hooks, split rings. These aren't just regular jump rings, these are split rings that connect all the way around so that the tassels won't slide through the hole. I also have small jump rings to attach those to the hooks, my tacky glue, and several different types of seed beads that have a hole large enough to fit onto the craft thread. The first thing I'm gonna do is make my tassels. So I'm gonna use up all of the scrap thread that I have and gather up a few pieces to get started. So I'm just gonna grab these little extra scraps that I have and try and get the most out of them. So if I double this over, I think this is the shortest one, so I'll just match up all the ends I grabbed with that short length in there. That's gonna get me some pretty long tassels to work with. And I'm gonna want to measure them longer than I want my actual earrings to be because I'm gonna lose a little bit of length in the process. So I'll cut those, and that's gonna help me use up some of my scrap. And then I'm gonna need to make 2 tassels out of this. So I'm just gonna keep adding some lengths from the rest of my newer craft thread until I can thicken it up enough to make 2 tassels out of this bunch. So now that I've gotten as much thread as I want, I'm just going to divide these 2 bunches into what I think looks like 2 equal sections. So I'll take all of my ends, and then I'll drag my finger to the other end and clip off anything that's way beyond, just so I'm getting everything roughly the same length. And I'll do the same with my other bunch. And I'm gonna wanna try and make sure that my 2 bunches are just about the same length as each other. And next I'll grab all the ends of my bunches and put them through the rings. Form a loop with each bunch with the ring in the middle. Put a dab of tacky glue on there. And when the glue has dried a little bit, I'm just going to grab my tassel and smooth it in. Not too much, but just kind of dab it in. And then I will take some more craft thread and wrap about maybe 1 centimeter down from that loop. And this is how I'm gonna form my tassel. And that tacky glue is just gonna give everything a little bit more security. And when I've wrapped that around a few times, I'll tie a knot in it. Next, select a few of your strands of your tassel that you want to add beads to. Apply tacky glue to those pieces of thread just on the end, and then wait for it to set up and dry. And when the strands that you've prepped have had a little bit of a chance to dry, you can get out your beads and start threading them at random onto the strands. And once I feel like I've threaded enough beads onto the cord, I will tie a knot in the end. And this is part of the reason I gave myself some extra length so that I can easily and comfortably tie the knot and not have to worry about how much excess I'm going to have to cut off. And I'm gonna knot it twice just to make sure that it's a large enough knot that it's gonna hold and the beads aren't going to slip right off the end. And I'll just do that on 7 or 8 more strands, and then I'll trim off all the excess. And when you've done as many strings of beads as you want, trim your earrings. You can get rid of any of the excess string at the ends that you don't want. Just make sure that you're not actually going to cut off any of the ends of your strings with the beads, because then the whole thing will come flying off. So I'm just going to trim these up and try and make sure that my earrings are both the same length. And next I'll take one of my small jump rings, open it up, and I'll slip it over my large split ring and attach that to another jump ring and close that up. And next I will open up the loops on my earrings and attach that to the top jump ring. And close it back up. And those are your finished earrings.